So, you're a new recruit to Rainbow Six Siege. You're about to join one of the greatest gaming communities out there, but you may be wondering, what is Rainbow Six? Rainbow Six is a game where multiplayer is at the center of the experience, focusing on gameplay that is just the right mix of tactics, destruction, and unique heroes that we call our operators. This video will help you learn everything you need to know before your first steps in Rainbow Six Siege. Rainbow Six features 3 different team deathmatch online game modes: Hostage, Secure Area, and Bomb. At the beginning of each round, there will be time for preparation. Defenders will be able to set their defenses with a variety of tools and gadgets. Attackers can send drones to recon the map, locate threats, objectives, and prepare their attack. But whether attacking or defending, knowing which operator to choose will have a big impact on your game. Operators are truly the heroes of Rainbow Six Siege, choosing amongst dozens of highly trained operatives from all over the world. Each operator is specialized in either offense or defense, owning tools and gadgets unique to them. Some operator gadgets allow them to set traps, others excel at breaching. Mastering each skill and gadget will be key to your survival. But choosing your operator is only a fraction of the equation, as an effective team is more than the sum of its parts. In Rainbow Six, you're only as good as your team, so play with your friends or let the matchmaking pick teammates for you. While there's no respawning and no second chances, once your operator is down, you can still exploit security cameras or remaining player drones to help your team achieve victory. Because each environment brings its own challenges, working, planning, and executing together with your team will be key to your success. There are a variety of maps to choose from, with more being released all the time. No two are alike, so you'll need to adapt your strategy, tactics, and choose your operators accordingly. Some will force close encounters. As for others, mastering medium and long-range engagement will be key. In Rainbow Six Siege, you have to always mind your surroundings. Environmental destruction is core to the game experience. When defending, you'll have to take into consideration that windows, walls, and even ceilings can be breached. So reinforce your position and be ready for anything. Rainbow Six Siege is constantly evolving, with free updates, new maps, and operators. But it's more than a game. It's a thriving community with 25 million players and counting. And the community is more alive than ever. Rainbow Six is a game built for gamers with a competitive spirit who won't back down from a challenge. And now, it's your turn to play.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to XP Esports Women's League Grand Finals today. My name is the Russian Cthulhu. I'm joined today by James Milboss as we're still figuring out if we still all good with a microphone. But we got a pretty saucy Grand Final today, aren't we? Okay. Think we still no sound. Okay, right, my bad. So whilst the Milboss will still be fixing up some some stuff here, Vertex versus Trinity tonight is on the board, and both of those teams have been showing some really intense matchups here, and albeit very dominant, mainly against some of the other teams against each other. Well, they had some really close best of threes, and tonight I don't think will be an exception either, considering that, well, both of those teams prove that they deserve to be on at the top two of the ladder. Milboss, are you back with us, my dear friend? No, he's not back with us, our dear friend. Oh, wait, no, actually, we might just be... I can hear Milboss say something. That's just in Discord. Okay, so we can hear him in Discord, but unfortunately, we will not be having a whole lot of success. But for now, all right. Well, for now, let's take a look quickly at the highlights, though, from our Sunday stream, which did see us have a pretty close best of three.
You gotta get into the room.
On a mission to succeed, Viking Army put the members of Newt Newt on the back foot early this week to secure the first map of Consulate. An amazing start to what was an epic third-place playoff.
Oh, wow, she's done it. No. Spots.
Jordan. Chloe dropping, I think, 16 kills in one of their games.
Ooh, that's a big kill from Connie to take down Chrissy. Connie now with the coverage.
Ooh,
the C4 comes out, takes down Mons. 5 seconds left.
Newt Newt had to retaliate. Dedication to the game saw the squad fight hours into the night, reverse sweeping Viking Army to earn themselves third place in the first ever season of the XP Esports Rainbow Six Women's League.
The site, and she is the diffuser carrier.
Gonna move back up, see if they can deal with her, but that actually is the diffuser on the ground. Connie is now in a position, the C4 comes out.
Soy finding the headshot on Jordan.
Rachel gonna spot the head of Soy, does get the kill as well.
She needs all the help she can get. 8 seconds remaining now. She will go in, find that kill into Lightning. Now it's just 2 remaining. They're going to try and go on through and find and get this bomb down, but Rachel's going to find one. Chloe in the last second. That might just be about all she wrote. If they're not too careful, though, Mons is going to come through, find one. She gets the second one. Rachel's going to trade that one out onto Lightning. It's just Mons left up against 3. Can she find those last 3 kills? It's not going to happen, and there we have it. Newt Newt. They're going to end the season going 3rd place, winning this best of 3 and taking out Viking Army.
Hats off to Viking Army for pushing us to all 12 rounds on 3 maps. This is the most stressed I've ever been, like literally.
Yeah, we're all exhausted now. We tried our best towards the end. We kept trying to hype each other up. It was the main thing, keep the vibes up, everything. We tried to come back, but yeah, what can you do?
We would like to thank our sponsors, Legion Energy and Computer Alliance, as well as our partner Ubisoft, for supporting women in gaming.
And these were the previous best of 3. So congratulations to Newt Newt for securing the 3rd place. And well, while it was a very close game, we have one more tonight, like I mentioned before. Vertex versus Trinity. Almost forgot that one. I missed my sentence. Milboss, are you back with us?
I've managed to get my webcam audio working, so I'm sorry that it's going to be pretty garbage. I'm still trying to work on this thing. It just moved my setup around and plug things in different places, and now it just hates me. But we'll get this one underway. What a great start to the stream. Sorry about that. But yes, grand finals time, and this is a matchup that we highly anticipated during the season and highly anticipating once again now. And in fact, we are going to see one of the same maps later on, but we'll get to the results of what we saw on Sunday, it was pretty nutty. I'm not sure if you were able to tune into any of it, Cthulhu, but it was some exciting games, some of the closest games we've seen all season. And honestly, congrats to Newt to be able to edge that one out in, 7-5, 5-7, and then finally the 8-6, I believe we ended on. So a great series overall. And if you missed it, definitely go and check out the VOD because it was some awesome Siege.
Yeah, I mean, I've managed to tune into a few just bits and pieces, unfortunately, but it definitely looked like and sounds so far as a really close matchup. So definitely will be keen to rewatch it as well fully. As just I need me some quality Siege action in my life. But for today, though, we also have the rankings, I believe, also ready. No, we don't have. Okay. Well, let's go and take a look at tonight's schedule then. So this
Pretty
is the
much
season schedule.
Seasons overall, and we're just down to this grand final. It's been a pretty long 5-6 weeks now, but we've finally come down to it, down to the wire to see the top two teams face off and obviously take home the lion's share of that prize pool. So very exciting stuff indeed.
And here it is, Vertex versus Trinity, the match that we were hyping up on the socials as well as on the upcoming streams as well for this. Two big teams, honestly. So far, they've been able to showcase us some really dominant rounds against the other opponents, and even against each other when they versed against each other. I believe that was a couple of weeks ago, and they were able to trade maps, actually.
Yeah, they were. It was an interesting training of matches. So I do have the results just on my notebook here. Something that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see when two teams are as pretty close as these teams seem to be. They were both blowout games, but one went one way, one went the other. So we started off on Clubhouse. Trinity and Vertex, that was Trinity's map pick, and Vertex ended up taking that one 7-2. Then we swapped over to Bank, where Trinity was able to take that one 7-1. So a very interesting way to have a close match also be very not close.
Yeah, we were initially, when we were casting it at the beginning, we were kind of prophesizing that, hey, there's going to be some really close matchups, maybe even overtime. But the moment we saw those final scorelines of the first two maps, we were quite puzzled, to say the very least.
I think puzzle is probably the best way to put it, because you'd never, as I said, see that sort of lineup be so close but so far away at the same time. And we are going to be seeing possibly something similar, but hopefully not. Hopefully it's more like what we saw on Sunday, some really tight, close games. Of course, it is a best of three. And again, we do have overtime enabled like we haven't throughout the season. So that could come into play at some point. Hopefully it does, because that always makes it for some interesting Siege. But we'll see how that goes further down the line. Now let's take a look at some of these rosters, though. If we bring up the first one. Oh, the community poll first, sorry. Rather, let's look at the community poll, because we did ask you guys over on socials who you thought's going to win this one. So having a look at it, very, very close again this time around. We've got Vertex just edging it out, 59% to Trinity's 41%, which is interesting in a way, because Trinity probably had obviously had the better season overall. They had the higher round differential, but Vertex, they've got their fan club coming in strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's also, well, partially you could say that their overall performance against some of the other teams maybe at the very beginning maybe was somewhat of a showcase as well for the people that were voting. So it could be that as well. But I mean, yeah, I honestly, I'm surprised that this is not 50-50 here, considering how close each one of those teams got and how close, even with the round differential, things got between these two teams, where obviously it didn't as much come down to the points, but yeah, it certainly is very close.
Yeah, I mean, it came down really, really close. The final week, Vertex had their bye, so Trinity, with a really decent win over Newt, were able to overtake them. They ended up with a positive 40 round differential in the end, just edging out Vertex's positive 31. So a very solid season for these girls, and I'm very excited to see if they're able to continue that strength and prove the poll wrong in a way. Because last week on Wednesday we saw Sunday, my God, my brain's all over the place, man. This quarantine is killing me. On Sunday, we saw a very close poll again. I think it was 47 to 53%, so a very, very tight one there. So it definitely goes to show that some of these teams are pretty well matched up, especially as the season progressed. building on what they'd learned from earlier weeks. So it's nice to see that. And we are going to get into a series that's going to be great.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely keen to see those series. But for now, let's take a look at the rosters that are actually going to be playing against each other. So to start things off, let's go with, I believe that will be Vertex.
Yep. Vertex up. Let's have a look. Kortari, Lola, Chicken Nugget, pretty fly for a Shy Guy, Buddha or Butter, however you want to say it, and Chaotic. This roster, I mean, I don't even know what to say about it. They've all had an outstanding season, and I feel like I keep on hyping up specific players, but as a team, they've just been really good.
Yeah, I mean, usually we would be talking about, say, a few star players here and there in each one of the rosters. Yeah, both for Vertex, actually, and for Trinity. We saw pretty much each one of those players pop off on a fair few occasions. So I'm quite keen to see how each one of them play out tonight, as pretty much at this point, each and every round really will matter, even when it will be a loss or a win. So.
Yeah, that's very true, and I think we'll bring up now the other side of things. Trinity, what do they have to offer? Minxie, Corvice, Aria Pie, Cripst, and of course YummySteakz. And we had Pie on last week to do a little bit of casting. She seemed to have a good time. Keen to see if we can get her back sometime in the future. But you know, as a player, as a team, they've just been outstanding. They've been dominant the whole way through, and you know, they dropped that one map 7-2, but for the rest of the season, it's been 7-1, 7-2 victories the entire way through.
Yeah, it definitely been a very, very spectacular performance from them. Definitely been enjoying some of the dominant rounds that they were pulling off. And even whenever they were losing, most of the time it was really still them kind of still dictating the overall pace, but it's just some of the trip-ups here and there that were caused. So I can see them winning out this best of three, but at the same time, I can also see Vertex pulling off some really interesting strats, because they still, even with the community poll being in their favor, they're still quite a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, and just looking at, you know, from that last series where we watched them, what was the main takeaway was that both teams are very defensively sided. That's where they won most of their rounds, and were just able to edge it out on the offensive side of things. So for the most part here, I'd say we might see something similar in terms of some higher scorelines. But one thing that happened that the scoreline of those games doesn't really reflect is how close those rounds were. How it always came down to 1v2, 1v3 situations, 1v1s even sometimes. So it really goes to show how close these girls are. And it just was a matter of a few things going one way or the other. We could have seen completely different results on the day.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not even excluding the fact that we might be even seeing some of the trades of the maps even between these two teams, considering their previous performances. So, honestly, I'm expecting everything here. With the fact that overtimes are on as well, we're probably down the line we will be seeing at least one of the maps go into overtime, if not two. So, at the moment, yeah, we're just waiting for the players to get prepped up. But let's take a look at the map bans and the maps that we will be seeing played out tonight. So we will be starting things off on Kafe Dostoyevsky. Then Clubhouse will be finding us for the second map. And the third one will be Villa. And Milboss, run us through again those scorelines that we saw them play previously, because I believe we saw Villa and Clubhouse played out between the two teams, was it?
No, so it was Clubhouse and Bank last time these two played. So Clubhouse was was Trinity's map pick, surprisingly enough, and that was the one they lost. Vertex then went on to pick Bank, and they lost that one 7-1, which is funny to see, because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Vertex were the ones that actually banned Bank in the ban phase here. So I think they've learned their lesson, and they're not going to take the girls back onto Bank. They're going to try and take the fight elsewhere. But with Clubhouse, that's been picked by Vertex this time, because, again, they had a very good performance on Clubhouse against Trinity last time. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, I will be quite curious to see how much would the outcome could potentially change if we'll be seeing the operator ban phase to be going more, rather, instead of going for just the meta bans, rather go for target bans and how they would shape up. Because we saw in a great variety of other leagues as well, the moment the teams would go for those target bans, it completely changes the playfield of the map. So I will be expecting somewhat similar case here, considering that both teams, I would be spending quite some time on the homework as well.
Yeah, well, I think that's one thing that we took away from Sunday that was really interesting was instead of seeing those meta bans that we'd seen throughout most of the season, we did see a lot of the bans being, targeted bans. And that just goes to show as the season progressed, these girls, they're doing their research. They're figuring out which operators different players like to play on, different players are strong with. So that's why we saw, eventually the Valkyrie was getting banned. We saw Ashe getting banned, things like that, which would target bans between the third, fourth playoff last on the weekend. So it'll be interesting, definitely, to see if that's the way that these girls go about it. Because I'm sure that they're going to be thinking about that, especially because they do have that history of such an interesting series throughout the season. That they would have done some VOD reviews, seeing what went wrong, what happened, and try and figure out and pinpoint which operators to get out of the way. Yeah.
I mean, we saw a plentiful amount of Thatcher bans as of recently within the general meta. We saw a fair few of the even Nomad or Buck even bans. So some of these are going to be coming in handy, especially on the maps like Kafe, like Clubhouse, where the vertical play is the name of the game on a fair few sites. So I'm certainly quite keen for it. Now I'm just checking if the teams are ready, and we should be on our way to the cafe, to the snowy cafe really soon.
I mean, we didn't see a lot of Kafe until towards the end of the season. Now we've seen quite a lot of it, so it's been a lot of fun to get our hands dirty on this map. So if these girls are all ready to go, we'll get this first map underway in the grand final of the Rainbow Six Siege Women's League. Ladies and gentlemen, that is right. The final night of the proceedings. It is about to get underway. I'm very excited.
Oh, yeah. Actually, whilst we also waiting for both of the teams to press R, how about this? I know it's usually a really tricky question, and it's one of those kind of really hard to predict, but what do you reckon will be the final scoreline between, like, maps-wise?
I hope in my heart that is a 2-1 scoreline in the end. I don't know how to really put it, but I kind of have to go with a little bit of bias. I've got some friends over at Vertex, so I kind of have to go to Vertex. Hello there, if you're watching from home. But, I mean, I'm keen to see what Trinity's able to do, because, again, they have been that dominant force the entire season through. So they're definitely going to bring it to them, but I think my heart has to say Vertex for this one.
All right. Well, let's see how things will work out here, as I believe we are already. So right before we get into that action, let's quickly take a peek at how the Cafe Dostoevsky is laid out. I mean, Thatcher is, one of the, like I mentioned before, recurring ban. I would be imagining something alongside of Hibana maybe, or Bach will be in play here, but instead it will be Jacko, actually, that will be banned out. So, obviously, Trinity do not want to have any hard time with having a successful roam game.
Yeah, Jackal was one of the ones that got targeted in the other final that we had earlier in the week, so let's see if they keep that up throughout the whole series. Mira going out, that's pretty meta right now, no surprises. She actually was absent from the bans on Sunday, so interesting to see that she's in here. And Echo, no surprises there either, really. Try and get some of the intel off the map for the defending side.
Yeah, so Echo, especially on maps like Kafe, like Clubhouse, he is especially really, really powerful, considering that he can be sitting literally on the opposite side of the map, but if he still manages to keep his yokai drones alive and kicking, he can deny the last moment plants just like that in the matter of just snapping his fingers, really. So we are starting in, I believe we just had a little bit of a technical issue, so I believe Millboss is back.
Yeah, no, we're here.
We're back. Okay, we're good. Cool. Right, so for now we do see a fairly stock standard, honestly, lineup of the defenders at the attacking side, considering that we do see a choice of the Nomad, Capital, Sophia, Nomad, and IQ, so pretty well-rounded overall lineup. Probably the main deviation would be actually YummySteakz on that Capital, but he's going to be pretty powerful here.
Yeah, I mean, you can never count out a Capital, really, so especially YummySteakz, we've seen some pretty nutty things from her throughout the season, so I'd be surprised to see her drop a few bombs, especially going for a 3-speed operator to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah, but looking on the side of the defense, it looks like they actually going to be prompting for a fair bit of the roaming game, considering that Kortari is actually busting out the Alibi, and usually Alibi is one of those really sneaky roaming operators, as well as that Nuggin on that Legion should reinforce that roam game, and Chaotic with the Jaeger as well. It's a Jaeger. He's still 3-speed before the upcoming patch, which we'll be seeing actually him drop down onto the 2-speed to armor. So definitely, I'm curious how will that change around the playfield.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with Legion being nerfed a little bit when it comes to roaming, the Legion mines, you can't see them from all over the map, so it definitely does slow down the pace potentially of a roam from a Legion, but nevertheless, yeah, you still got heavy roam power on Kortari and Chaotic, so don't sleep on those girls. Let's get this underway. First action phase, here we go. It's time to get this underway and see how this plays out, because one of the interesting things that was nice to see on the weekend was some more slower, methodical gameplay that we hadn't seen a lot throughout the season. There have been quite a few quick rounds, but initially Kortari, she is going to find that first kill on the road. Here you go, Mixie already out of action. That's the IQ gone.
And that is going to be huge, considering that there's so much electronic utility that can be utilized there to deny the push. So getting rid of IQ is huge right now here for Vertex's first round of defense, as that we also see a pretty interesting place here with the fact that there's literally no contention in any shape or form of the piano, that there is quite some heavy presence down below, with Lola already extinguishing her C4, but that should keep the attackers on their toes, really.
Yeah, hopefully they're able to stay alert to that and see how they approach this now. They've grouped up a little bit more. Definitely has been a criticism of both of us, a little bit of the pushing things one by one, no room for trades throughout the season, so I just go down, however. Not helpful when that's your hard breach. Let's figure out a way to get her up. That's going to be Aria's job. Using the evil eye there just to annoy him.
That's still quite some damage, because each one of those shots deals 5 points of damage. So right now, this is nicely softening up Arya's health pool as well, as now it is at 5v3.
She's gone down really low right now. That's not what you want to see here. Kortari's going to find her third, leaving just YummySteakz alive on the Kafe Tower, and no longer. Mola's going to clean that up. So first round going to Vertex.
And that was a flawless round to kick things off as well, so that should set up the pace really nicely here in to the side of Vertex. Whereas for Trinity, it was a little bit of a rough start, to say the very least, because losing that IQ, who was actually pretty well and true on the trail to hunt down that alibi, but unfortunately wasn't able to catch the Italian operator to actually switch the sides of that doorway. But apart from that, really, it was a good idea, but fortunately not as fortunate over an execution. But whereas on the side of Vertex, it was just a very clinical defense, albeit that, yeah, the C4 didn't really land and score any kills. The overall way how they've kept their defense, they didn't overextend on any parts of the third floor. It just worked out really, really well. And with that, we'll be seeing them transition over to the kitchen site, which is also more or less, it does allow you to have some roam game, but you should just only have some close offside. So say the VIP dining, or for that matter, the downstairs bar and the coat hanger room are the three kind of main places where the attackers might need to be worrying about.
I got some good news for you, I believe. My mic is now working.
Yeah,
working. We're back in business, baby. Back in business as we get into round 2. Oh my lord, that has been a journey and a half trying to get this damn thing to work. Really probably should have tested this out. I thought it was working.
It's also a journey for us casters as well. It's all very much emotional with the season coming up to a closure after tonight, and seeing how these two teams will be playing out, as well as just general technical difficulties. I mean, what kind of fun stream would it be without any technical issues?
Exactly. Gotta make it a bit interesting.
Yeah, gotta keep it. Gotta give ourselves some challenge as well. So either way, so far it looks like a much more confident push. We have some presence at the back, which is Minxie with the Buck, who could actually make quite some difference here. But
yeah,
the remainder of the roster is actually still at the front of the bakery, where the main push could be happening. Ooh, yeah, Buddha will be able to actually get rid of that thermite charge, so no more of the hard breach there. So at the moment, Arya will be trying to make some openings there, and she does know that this is the hologram there, pardon, the prisma of Alibi. As right now, ooh, does see, I believe that is the head of Buddha, sorry, as there it is, there's the shot owned by the Zofia, and actually will be able to down Buddha just a little bit more, but the Bandit will be able to trade out her teammate. So once again, a good trade overall, but apart from that, Kortari does manage to find some shots. Buddha as well as, and oh my, that is a naughty long angle there set up by Kortari, as right now we do see some chaos actually enveloping here in the main corridor.
Well, see how they progress this push here. Last two, I mean, with Butter so low, should be a pretty easy kill.
Attackers have recovered their diffuser.
Yeah, Butter right now holding the angle in the kitchen and cooking, as she will just need to play it really safe. They have the numbers advantage. Lola and Kortari are very high on health, and ooh, fantastic shot onto Crips will be landing nicely on the head, and leaving all up to Minxie to try to clutch this out, as she does make the entry, but there's already a sneaky Bandit prone, aiming right at the body of the Buck, and that is yet another round in favor of Vertex.
I mean, not surprisingly, getting business done on the defensive side of things. And It's going to be them going up 2-0 to start off this first map. Very slow and steady approach and a lot more methodical action coming out of Trinity, which is nice to see, but so far, not so good for him. They switch things up though, they're bringing out the Monty on Crips.
Yeah, bringing in Monty, but that is more of a little bit of a bait out there, as instead Crips is actually going to be switching for a complete 180 overall. Instead of having that support kind of attention taker of Monty, it's going to be Sledge, who's going to be doing the main part of the hard breaching, whereas Arya is going to be on that kind of, you could say technically, support of soft breaching. Now here's also quite actually one thing that I wanted to point out. The beauty of the holding, say, the reading room, and if, say, your main point of contention is coming out from the pillars hallway, you can actually vault on that left side, that left drawer that is stacked near the vertical drawer, and you can actually use it as the cover for yourself while having a nice head height pixel angle to be held onto the doorway. So not a whole lot of people utilize it, but it's been definitely quite powerful, at least in my experience.
Attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
See if they utilize that, because you're going to want to get whatever advantage you can.
So we do have already all of the attackers spawning in. So far, seems like a pretty even just rotation up on the top floor and then have a top-down clear, which is probably the most logical way to go about it, really.
Yeah. From top down, clear all your bases. Watch out for all those roamers. Try and make easy work of it. Looks like that drone's been taken over by the Mozzie, so they're going to try and cap that Minxie. Just baiting out some shots there from Kortari.
If she can find those shots onto Kortari right now, she could actually start a really nice beginning, because Kortari is the one so far that is leading kills-wise.
Everybody's sort of just going for pre-fires, hoping something works there, but doesn't seem to be happening just yet. And it's going to leave both players still full health. Finally, we'll get some shots in though. Fine. She's going to go down to nearly half HP.
Attackers have dropped the bomb diffuser.
That's going to be the end of her. Sorry, finding that first kill, even though she was... they knew exactly where she was. She was being spotted out at fine time by Minxie. Kortari's going to find that early kill count. She's going to follow it up with another one onto Crips T now, and this is already looking very powerful here from Vertex.
Yeah, Trinity seeming to be missing out on a few shots here and there, on a few timings, which is quite unfortunate, as Minxie does actually spot the Jaeger. Chaotic is there and ready to actually go for a jump at us. It definitely looks like she's very much tempted there. But it seems that Vertex are very much playing just a bit kind of chilled, a little bit drawn back, as Arya is actually going to be going in for the kill. Does actually find Kortari, so at the very least it won't be a flawless round, but with already a flank from Lola, which was actually from below, this is a solid frag, as Arya is now once again left all to her own guns.
Arya finding yet another one. Just holding her own right now. I mean, we've had some amazing rounds from Arya, especially in that last week of the season. She was able to do some pretty nutty things with it, so let's see if she continues on.
15 seconds left.
Yeah, with 15
seconds, yeah.
And with 15 seconds left to go, there's not a whole lot to be done, but Vertex are already on it. They just going straight in for the kill, and just having those crossfires is just absolutely just precise here between all the girls here.
Well, there we go. Vertex really starting to pick up a bit of a lead here, starting to assert their dominance, and this is what they wanted to see, a good first half on their opposition's map pick to begin with, especially when they're going to be going to a map pick of their own clubhouse, which they dominated Trinity on last time. Mind you, that was starting on that defensive side, but alas, they only dropped the run round there. Once they swapped over to the attack, they were able to close it out after 1 round. So.
Yeah, I mean, with Trinity's being on defense in Clubhouse, this could serve as a really nice matchup to witness, considering, yeah, like you said before, it was Vertex to start things off on defense, and they had it pretty tight for themselves. So for this time, I mean, it's already a good showcase for Vertex here, all things considered. The 3 rounds in a row, completely shutting down any kind of aggression that Trinity tried to pull out here. And Trinity, unfortunately, I feel like half of the times they died, it was just due to some of the missed timings or some of the peaks. And it certainly does show, because, like, even for example, okay, that kitchen hold in round number 2, we saw at least 1 or 2 kills from Kortari, which was from this very hatch, but it was down to the very ground floor, and it was a pixel angle. So so many stars needed to line up for her to line up that perfect shot onto, I believe it was Arya, who was actually playing on that Zofia, who got shot down. So there's a whole lot of really interesting angles that Vertex so far are busting out, and it shows that the strat book, like, you know, those the pages that were kind of hidden there for a few weeks, those are now being busted out here for them.
That's what you want to see. Save all your most important strats to the grand final, because that's when you want to bring out everything you've got to offer. Use them in the important games like this, in these best of 3 series. And top-down approach here from Trinity, it's going to have to be good if they want to get around on the board. No, not quite so round for round like we saw on the weekend, but nevertheless, still some pretty close rounds.
Woo! Getting really close to actually taking out Butter as well. Right now, the Maestro player will be going to fall back from their position just for now, but so far it seems like a really stable push here. So far, not a single player has been dropped on the side of Trinity, as right now Arya will have herself pinged around here, but Kortari already dishing out some early punishment from below. Once again, that play out at the from the bottom of the site is actually doing quite some wonders here.
Pre-fire there from Lola, trying to find whatever she can on the repelling player. Nice little murder hole there. He's going to find Arya early on. Pyre's going to get dropped as well. That's Nugget finding a kill in the background. Thermite charge will go off nonetheless. Mixie also falling. Chaotic finding that one. So another dominant round here from Vertex. 5-1. YummySteakz all alone. And it's looking like we're about to head towards another flawless round here from the Vertex girls. No.
No.
Take that back. Yummy's going to find one. But that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, so far we saw, first of all, again, some just good aggression, good controlled aggression from Vertex, considering that Kortari is just being given pretty much a carte blanche and trying to just go for literally whatever place she wants, because she just peeks that open hole in the wall from bar into piano like it's literally nothing, and receives pretty much minimal punishment from there. And there was also a peak, I believe, from the flooring that was destroyed around the train. So all of that, it just seems that maybe a bit of a lack of droning here from Trinity, which I hope that we'll be able to iron out closer to the end of this half. But apart from that, really, it's just, so far it's just seeming to be that Vertex just one step ahead.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Look like they're predicting pretty much everything that Trinity's throwing at them, which so far hasn't really been a lot. But we're going back down to the kitchen now. Let's see if second time lucky over here, Vertex, they're going to be able to win this one, or if Trinity can make it work. Pretty standard sort of setup, although Crips, her drone is already down, and YummySteakz probably want to try to keep them alive a little bit longer than that. That's something that was really good about last week, especially from Viking Army, was how well they were keeping their drones alive in the preparation phase. But now let's jump on over.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Couple seconds of the offensive phase, sorry. And most of the players are going to be coming from the same angle here.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, Kortari already made the same just about angle from above, but this time she will be actually also opening up the hatch. So she will have that perfect angle from above once again, and she will be the one to be reigning over the top floor with Lola actually. So only 3 players will actually be on side, which if flooded well, I don't think they will be able to actually withhold all of the onslaught that will be there, but as I say that, Minxie will get taken out pretty quickly by a roaming Jaeger of Chaotic.
Yeah, early start there. Not what Minxie would have wanted. Chaotic has been droned out, but Kortari is going to find Aria in the background, and right now everything's just falling apart here for Trinity. Really struggling to get something going. I can't even tell you, honestly. It's like Vertex are just all over the place, and you know, in some instances that can be a disadvantage, as you said. Only having 3 players on the sites themselves can be a disadvantage if they play it perfectly. Oh, Kortari.
That's where that kill came from. Oh, that is such a nasty kill. That is dirty.
Dirty. Yeah, Kortari's been doing her homework.
Oh yeah.
That's something else.
She's definitely coming in prepared for this one. She wants that W.
And to be fair, this is going somewhat similarly than the first time we saw these two play. Vertex doing really well on Trinity's map pick.
Yeah, but it certainly seems that this time Butter wasn't able to really bandit trick that wall, which will be leaving a quite a massive hole in the wall there.
I think she bandit tricked the wrong one when she was going for it.
Yeah, it certainly did look like it, as with that peak, it will be down again to the 2 players of Trinity, as things are not working out just yet in that favor. Kortari, once again, holding that angle, as right now the main point of contention would be that breach in the wall, but that is also a massive choke point there, and well, yet another flawless round to come out from the orange team, aka Vertex, as 5 rounds in a row. That is
man, Kortari's a gamer. Kortari's an absolute gamer.
So let's take a look. Already, actually Butter and Kortari on 7 kills, but Butter is on 7-0 KD wise.
That's something else. Haven't really seen too much craziness out of Butter, but some dirty angles out of Kortari there's definitely going to grab our attention.
Yeah, while Butter is just being really just stable with just finding a frag or 2 per round, Kortari is just that wild card of Vertex, which I think if she will be shut down early into the round, I don't think Vertex will have as much of that advantage as they usually do, because Kortari finding those early entry kills at the very beginning of the attack phase is certainly upping the overall morale, plus it just definitely puts a bit of a strain onto Trinity's performance and just shuts down their overall momentum.
And not just that, you know, you block out Kortari early on, then you also don't have to worry about one of the main roamers once you do get a little bit closer to the site. So it really is a 2-for-1 special if you cut Kortari out of the mix early on.
Oh yeah. The main interesting thing is that usually at least I'm so used to see that defense will be bringing a whole lot of, say, C4s, a whole lot of that just passive utility to slow things down for the attack. This time, they're not bringing a whole lot. They have a single C4 on Lola, which we saw not a whole lot of times being really used to the full extent. And then a couple of impact grenades, which could be used as rotations, aka, or the impact trick denial. But apart from that, really, it's all just sheer gunfights that the players seeming to be working out, as right now Minxie is going to be trying to contest. Now, actually, she decides to against that. But yeah, it's definitely a different overall meta, you could say, here in the Women's League. It's much more frag heavy, which I definitely do like seeing, considering it just gives you just a nice action-packed broadcast to witness.
I think one of the things that, you know, Vertex has been doing well with what utility they do have, you know, the impact grenades on Kortari and Nugget, in this scenario, and Lola using the C4 as well with the Valkyrie. A lot of it has been used to create those weird angles, especially for Kortari. She's been using the impact frags to find, make a few angles, especially late round. Save one up, hope for the best, hope that you're able to open up a bit of flooring that just gets a couple of bullets down below you or above you or wherever it is. So she's done well at that, but here we go. First kill, finally, it's going to be Trinity finding the first pick. That's going to be Lola out of action. Arguably, I'd say, I don't want to say the least important, but right now it's all the Kortari and Kortari and Butter show. Butter, she's going to go down as well though. Kortari will trade, leaving in a 3v3.
Okay, so Butter so far single-handedly managed to push it into a 3v3, but Arya is having none of it, so that does leave only Nugget and Chaotic, the two players that so far have been, well, on the scoreline they have the least amount of kills, but they have been very much the key set of players to really make things work as well here. Interestingly enough, Butter also received her first death after 5 rounds in a row, so that is big RIP for the KD out there. But overall, I mean, this is a very good beginning. With 45 seconds to go, they just need to start dropping down in through the hatch or maybe through the railings at the bar, and well, they're going to be right on site with, I believe, Nugget just off site, Chaotic finding a shot onto Pi, and well, she's going to be also off site. So a very nice swift push onto site should allow Trinity to have the control of the site and go for the plan, which it does look like the case, but Nugget could just prevent that as she does have the angle.
Yeah, she's got the holes in the wall, and coming from behind is going to be Chaotic. They need to get this diffuser down now. They've droned out as much as they can, but there we go, the first kill comes in. That's going to be Chaotic finding it, Arya, leaving Yummy all alone with 0 seconds left. Vertex, they're just going to delay the time there. And yet another round for the girls in purple. Vertex really showing up in the first half as we swap sides now. Trinity, you got to show us what you're made of here on your map pick, because right now, Vertex, they look absolutely in control.
Yeah, I mean, just one more round away from having a 7-0 victory here for Vertex. They looking like they want to close this out as quickly as they possibly want. Albeit that a few of the players were talking about needing some food before the match, so maybe that's just their way of just like, okay, just get the best strats. Let's just go get some food before the next map maybe. So it could be that, but for Trinity, this is going to be their prime time to make a response here and make a statement.
Attackers need to locate and
definitely need to make a statement, that's for sure. Couldn't have put it better myself. As we get on to the second half of map number 1 here, Kafe. It's been a one-sided affair all the way through, but let's see if Trinity can have a go at Groundhog Day, where every day is a round win in this scenario. They got to do that to bring it back to overtime.
I'm curious about that setup that Trinity are planning to go. Bringing in a castle for the bar is a little bit of still somewhat of a controversial decision, but he can still be a very powerful operator, considering that his main kind of the point of his utility in the current meta is just drain that breach utility, and considering that well, Vertex will be bringing in a sledge, but if, say, Chaotic or Lola, for that matter, will be trying to use some of that breaching utility, they will be missing out on a fair bit of them, and will be left to a few breaching charges of Kortari, and then the sledgehammer of Butter.
Let's see, get things underway. Still going for a little bit of preparation here, Trinity girls. And Butter, she's going to find the first one already. That's massive. Kortari as well, shooting a couple of pieces of utility early on. Putting a drone right down through the middle of the skylight. But there are some of the mute jammers around. That's what Kortari is trying to get out of the way.
Yeah, there's the mute jammers. There's also, you can see you get ADSs as well. So softening that utility up early into the round is definitely a good beginning here, all things considered, as Vertex are definitely prepping. They're prepping for that push. They want to get it down and up and running really as quickly as possible and have as much of that time buffer before the main push happens, as Chaotic does find yet another shot into YummySteakz. Things are not looking all swell, but the Goyo should be able to find a few shots, but only just gives a bit of a scare there for Lola.
Yeah, just nothing really going Trinity's way here, and if they're not careful, this could very rapidly decline into a 7-0 victory. Crips is going to find the first kill though onto Chaotic. That's a massive one, and she's kept all of her health.
Look at that triple stack of players there. As the mowdown actually comes out from Crips. Fantastic performance there, as she is able to keep her position nice and steady.
Yeah, she turned the round on its head here. Butter trying to get something going. She's going to go for the grenade throw here. Is it going to work? The ADS does stop it, but she's going to get the shots in anyway. That's Butter finding a kill on Crip, so it's all down to Pi and Minxie. Now both damaged. Minxie down to only about 26 HP. It's Kortari and Butter, sorry, I keep on reverting back to my old habits. Kortari and Butter, they've got this one. Potentially, that's definitely doable for them. They're about to make a statement here, a 7-0 statement against Trinity, who's been practically flawless the entire season through. Can they do it?
The main push is just about to commence with 20 seconds to go. Kortari and Butter needs to really make the decision here, as the first person that will be trying to contest the angles will be Pi. With that Elder, she's going to be a massive menace to deal with, as right now all the pre-fires coming out, able to down Kortari, but Butter is able to actually get the plan down, and there it is, there's the pre-fire coming out. 1v1 situation as the shots are being exchanged. Minxie's down even lower amount of health, and a single shot will be pretty much ending her run in this matchup, as Butter is still going to be very much nice on that health.
Oh, she backs up that perfectly timed, because Minxie does go for the C4 there, and that's going to be missing, so now she just has to hold this angle. And it's all on Minxie to find a nutty one tap to be able to bring this one and stay alive in the first map here. And in fact, she's going to be able to do it.
There it is.
Runs out, and there you go, Trinity. They're staying alive. It's not going to be the flawless 7-0 victory for Vertex. My God, that came down to the wire, but Trinity, they're going to be alive for yet one more round.
Yeah, fantastic effort there for Minxie, staying alive, managing to clutch this out, and well, it will be slowing down the potential overall momentum that Vertex accumulated for themselves, and well, that could be potentially serving as a really nice position here for the defense to start their comeback, really, albeit that it is on a slight unnerving moment, having already lost 6 rounds in a row, but alas, 6-1 is the scoreline so far, as I just witnessed a massive can of whoop-ass being dished out by BattleEye.
Yeah, we've seen a fair few tonight already, actually. BattleEye having a field day. It's Wednesday, my dudes.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Look, I got it right for once. Every day just blends in right now in this self-isolation. I feel like every day's a weekend, but at the same time, it's not, because like my dad's still working, but it's weird because he's working from home now. It's a weird time to be alive here in 2020, but nevertheless, it's a great time to be alive if you're into Siege.
Located by attackers.
Oh yeah, Siege is just only ramping things up right now. We do have I believe I just lagged out a little bit. There we go, we're back. just a smidge, pardon me. We have this grand final already full speed rolling. We have some upcoming 6 Masters, I believe, or at the very least soon they're going to be announced. But yeah, I'm keen as a bean for what is coming out for the APAC and ANZ Siege.
Well, round number 8. Again, Vertex on match point. Keeping it classy, keeping it clean here for your entertainment, but Trinity, they have something to say about it. Soon see, as we're going to be downstairs in the kitchen, and Minxie, unsurprisingly, with that Valkyrie, is going to be going for a bit of a roam. She will get thrown down a tad there, but...
Ooh, hello. that is a few attacks that were just heard entering into the building. That's actually Kortari leading the charge, and with those breaching charges, she should be able to open up a few really nasty angles to hold on to.
I mean, she did this in the offense, on the defense, so why would you not expect it on the offense?
That is true.
Oh no. Oh, don't do it.
This will be so dirty if it does actually end up working out.
Lola and Kortari with their verticality angle, she's gonna find. No, she gets traded out there, Christy. She sees that one coming from a mile away. She might even be able to find yet another one. They're not careful. And that's just going to slow Vertex right down. They've lost that first kill, but Katari's going to trade it out onto Minxie. That flank coming in from the Valkyrie just not going to work out. And they still have the vertical opportunity here.
Yeah, this did shut down all the roaming that Trinity did bring on board, as the rest of the roster will be actually sticking around the site and close by. So right now this could be huge and could be also a big bloodbath the moment the shots are going to be starting to come in, as it is only 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, just the 1 minute left. Both teams have really slowed right down. She's going for the pre-fires here. Kortari, you were a dirty gamer, and she's going to go potentially for another one. Thinking about it, but 38 seconds remaining. There's not a lot of time to play with now. Already wasted 2.5 minutes.
Well, Chaotic does know about the position of Mute. We'll be finding a very clean headshot there. We'll be finding another one onto Arya. Chaotic, what are you doing? Think of the children that are getting bullied here. This is just a complete wipe. GG, well played. 8 rounds of just full-on domination by Vertex with a 7-1 scoreline.
What a game coming out of Vertex. I mean, I expected it to be a strong performance from both teams, but not necessarily that strong. That's really put a halt to any plans Trinity had, but that's not to say that we're not going to have a good map too, because of course that does put Trinity on the attacking side as we head over to Clubhouse next. So that is going to be an interesting one, especially considering, you know, that was their map pick when these two initially faced each other. So maybe there's things that Trinity haven't shown Vertex on Clubhouse because they didn't have a lot of opportunity to do so on that defensive side. So this time starting there, definitely they could show something that Vertex isn't prepared for, even though Vertex had such a strong showing against them last time.
Yeah, I mean, for Trinity, there was plentiful amount of information and VOD material to go off how Clubhouse was played by Vertex. So yeah, definitely I'm with you on board with that idea, considering that, yeah, Trinity so far didn't really have a very victorious performance so far, but maybe at least as the trend usually goes between those two teams so far, they might just be trading some of the maps here. So Clubhouse will be the prime time for Trinity to pull that off, especially within the fact that this is the best of 3. So they won't really have that buffer of a map anymore for the mistakes.
No, they don't really have the buffer of the map anymore. But, I mean, then if they do manage to win map 2, that will send us to map number 3. We'll be heading to Villa, which we haven't seen these two teams play each other on. So that could be an absolute wild card either way. And, I mean, based off what we just saw from Vertex, you got to assume they've really stratted most of the maps, especially the ones that they didn't ban. So that could definitely be interesting to watch that if we do make it there. But, of course, we do need Trinity to win map 2, which is going to be coming right after this break.
On a mission to succeed, Viking Army put the members of Newt on the back foot early this week to secure the first map of Consulate. An amazing start to what was an epic third-place playoff.
Oh, wow, she's done it.
No. Just spots.
Jordan. Chloe dropping, I think, 16 kills in one of their games.
Ooh. That's a big kill from Connie to take down Chrissy. Connie now with the coverage.
Ooh,
the C4 comes out. Take down Mons.
5 seconds left.
Newt had to retaliate. Dedication to the game saw the squad fight hours into the night, reverse sweeping Viking Army to earn themselves third place in the first ever season of the XP Esports Rainbow Six Women's League.
Towards the site, and she is the diffuser carrier.
Gonna move back up, see if they can deal with her, but that actually is the diffuser on the ground. Connie is now in a position. The C4 comes out.
Soy finding the headshot on Jordan.
Rachel gonna spot the head of Soy, does get the kill as well.
She needs all the help she can get. Only 8 seconds remaining now. She will go in, find that kill into Lightning. Now it's just 2 remaining. They're going to try and go on through and get this bomb down, but Rachel's going to find one. Chloe in the last second. That might just be about all she wrote. If they're not too careful, though, Mons is going to come through, find one. She gets a second one. Rachel's going to trade that one out onto Lightning. It's just Mons left up against 3. Can she find those last 3 kills? It's not going to happen, and there we have it. Newt. They're going to end the season going 3rd place, winning this best of 3 and taking out Viking Army.
Hats off to Viking Army for pushing us to all 12 rounds on 3 maps. This is the most stressed I've ever been, like literally.
Yeah, we're all exhausted now. We tried our best towards the end. We kept trying to hype each other up. It was the main thing, keep the vibes up, everything. We tried to come back. Yeah, what can you do?
We would like to thank our sponsors, Legion Energy and Computer Alliance, as well as our partner Ubisoft, for supporting women in gaming.
Well, it's time to get ready for map number 2. Map number 1 was obviously a bit of a blowout there from the girls over at Vertex. Millwall's here, of course, joined by Cthulhu as we get the second map of the grand final just about underway. And after what we've just seen, I mean, Vertex, they've filled me with a lot of confidence.
Yeah, Vertex so far just managed to pull off some really, really confident plays here and lost out on only a single round, which was actually very well coordinated by Trinity on that one. But unfortunately on the rest for them, they weren't able to really close things out. But for Clubhouse, this is the map, the redemption map almost, you could say. Yeah, definitely very well could be as we have a look at the maps that we are going to be playing tonight. Again, if you are just joining us, of course, we just saw Kafe go 7-1 in favor of Vertex. That was Trinity's map pick. Now we head on over to Clubhouse, where these two have faced off before, where it was a 7-2 win by Vertex. Mind you, that was Trinity's map pick, and Vertex started on the defensive side. So now we've got Trinity starting on the defensive side. This could get very interesting, especially if they want to force that third map. Yeah, for them, this is going to be the prime time to start shining because, like we mentioned before, so far the defensive side has been one of the more prevalent ones throughout numerous amount of matchups. So here, this is definitely going to be putting Trinity at quite an advantage overall against Vertex. But I gotta also give it to Vertex. Their coordination on the push on the last round was really well coordinated, albeit on the final 20 seconds. So this is a good potential showcase that Trinity are able to delay the time enough to put Vertex into that uncomfortable ground to the point where they need to hurry themselves. And this is where they're going to be emphasizing their playoff.
Well, I think if there's one thing that we can take from that last round in terms of the delaying tactics is that the problem was they just didn't have the numbers up towards the end there, Trinity, that is, on the defense, to be able to actually hold off that final push. So, yes, it's all well and good getting them to that final, 15, 20 seconds. Worst thing is if you've only got 1-2 people to defend the sites with and you've got 3 running at you. So, definitely not going to be handy if they continue that sort of form, but we'll see what they've got up their sleeves with Clubhouse, because it is going to be a new thing, at least for us, to watch them on the defensive side, because we only were able to see 3 rounds of that last time these two faced, and they won 2, lost 1, and that was all it took for Vertex to take that map. Let's see if it's going to be the other way around this time.
It certainly is. I do believe we have all of the players rated up, so before we jump into the whole action, let's quickly take a peek at how Clubhouse looks for us.
And we are here, ready to go with what could be, if it goes one way and not the other, the last map of the season. Trinity Vertex, grand finalists, could be decided here. Or can Trinity push it to map number 3 and would head over on to Villa? We are just about to find out. Maverick going to be banned out first. Interesting sort of ban there. What's your take on that?
I mean, Maverick is probably one of the most powerful on Clubhouse, so it's not particularly surprising to see that he's banned out, considering that he is going to be a massive thorn in the side of any defending roster. But to add things up, it is Capitao that will be banned out. Now, Maverick usually is banned because of his utility, because of his breaching utility, but now with him having those frag grenades, he is even more powerful, as he pretty much becomes the embodiment of one-man army.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how bad that works in other games. Thank you, Modern Warfare 2, for ruining my childhood. But Capitao banned out there. A little bit of a target ban, maybe, perhaps, as we saw that used by Vertex a little bit. And then that's going to be the Echo coming out. Mirror, of course, pretty set standard defensive bans, as we will now jump on over to the pick phase here. But yeah, I mean, we've seen quite a few changes recently to a lot of popular operators, and more yet to come. You know, you were talking about the Jaeger one before. How do you reckon that's going to change gameplay? Because Jaeger's been such a staple of the roaming and annoying defensive operators for as long as I can remember in Siege.
I don't think it will be impacting as much. You probably will be seeing a decline in his pick rate from the ranked players, but as much as it comes to the high level competitive play, I don't think it will be impacting him as much. For that matter, actually, I think that giving him a little bit more armor while still keeping him more or less mobile is still a good idea, considering that he can take just a little bit more of those firefights. But apart from that, really, I don't really think that it is as much of a big difference. The main issue that I have is the upcoming Ying buff, as let's just say it brings me back to PTSD memories of just about a year and a half maybe ago, when the Ying and Glass meta was in full-blown effect, where Ying would have Ying would have the smoke grenades. She throws in. Glass goes in for the peek with his thermal scope, and well, voila! You have already. And you'll be lucky to have maybe only 1 or 2 people dead, if not the whole squad wipe. So, yeah, it's interesting times are coming, like you said, with 2020.
I think that's probably one of the good things about Siege. It keeps it interesting. Meta is always changing, and got to keep on your toes as a player. So,
A bomb has been located.
you know, this season, especially for some of the newer girls that weren't super familiar with it, it gives them a good understanding of how Siege operates and how it's going to continue to operate if they want to continue playing it. YummySteakz going to get out a last-second barricade up as the wall is breached.
That is a really ballsy decision to reinforce at that very last moment, because if Vertex were just even a smidge more aggressive, YummySteakz would not have been alive already at that point.
Yeah, well, it looked like they blew it up the wall with the thermite and then decided to go for some drone usage instead. So, you know, going on the tactical approach there, not really working out of, pardon me, Vertex's favor.
Yeah, well, talking about Vertex's favor, as Kortari actually does manage to find the shot onto the mute, and okay, Lola just full on floor bangs the YummySteakz of the bandit of YummySteakz, as right now I believe that is actually Arya trying to. No, that is Minxie trying to find some solace here and clearing out those two pressuring attackers, but instead it's just a full-on trade coming out here.
Yeah, Arya's going to get traded out. I mean, she had an absolutely insane week 5 against Newt, dropping a massive number of kills on both maps. Right now, seems a little cold maybe. It's already down to a 1 versus 4 Trinity. They're just falling apart. You can see Vertex, they are just brimming with confidence. And it's just Minxie left.
And we had a fair few professional players talk about, like, if you go in for the gunfight with the confidence that you are winning it, there's a really good chance you are winning it, because you go for some of the more just aggressive plays, and that usually allows you to have that really nice angle to peek. But if you go in with that uncertainty, well, you hesitate with some of the shots, and this is where you proceed to lose the firefight. But yeah, for now, this was just, at this point, just poor Valkyrie was just overwhelmed by the numbers, unfortunately for her.
I mean, you saw Arya's peak. Yes, she got traded out instantly, but a very confident, aggressive peak there was able to net her a kill in the first place. So, you know, if luck went a different way and there wasn't someone waiting for that trade, that would have been an easy kill, run back to site and change positions and make it harder for the enemies to know where you are. So, depending on the situation, yeah, definitely those aggressive peaks, they can work out very advantageously as we head on into round number 2. 6 pick coming in for Kaid. Crips T swapping out the Valkyrie.
I mean, this just shows a little bit more that Trinity want to play a little bit more of a anchor-sided defense, considering that Kai does allow you to, first of all, electrocute those hatches, which are usually placed one on the bar hatch, one on the kitchen hatch. But on a fair few occasions, we did see Kai rather being utilized for some of the wall denial rather than the hatches, and it sometimes works if you are able to contest those hatches, but it's very much under a big question mark sometimes.
And we'll see how they approach that.
10 seconds left.
Explosive ordnance is ready.
And we're about to get into the action phase for this one, so you can see Arya.
That is a little bit cutting it close there for her.
Yeah.
She has been droned out, so any really aggressive pre-fires, and if she was reinforcing slightly later, that would have been pretty much her demise settled in. But thankfully for her, that's not the case, as all the Trinity players have managed to default back to the site, I believe. Yes, all 5.
So, look, it's an approach.
Attackers have recovered their
Might not work out the best, but you never know. Maybe the 5-woman stack on site is what they need to stop this Vertex push. So we'll just have to wait and see.
I mean, my
Vertex start their attack.
My probably biggest complaint is the fact that Arya doesn't have any Goyo shields there in the blue tunnel, considering that she will really need it for this very defense if she wants to have a really nice anchor hold. Apart from that, really, there's a rotation hold for her, so I'm guessing in case of any kind of aggression, she will fall back to the reinforced wall, which is not a bad idea as well. Okay, interesting. To say at the very least, that's an angle, but I'm not too sure whether Kortari is intending to use it in any shape or form. But for now, it's a little bit quiet.
Yeah, I swear Kortari's just spent the last week sitting on her computer, playing by herself on the maps, just testing out every single possible angle and how she can just toy with these players, because she's just finding some absolute geek spots.
Yeah, I mean, most of the competitive ANZ Siege community do know the whole legend about Virtue, who's an Aussie player now playing for G2. Whenever he doesn't play comp or scrims, he's just a hermit in Terrorist Hunt, just playing it out, just training his aim to the point where he doesn't even think about it. It's just muscle memory at that point. So maybe similar thing was done by Kortari. She just no-lifed on all of those custom games and just was looking for all of those naughty angles that can be pulled off.
Well, already Vertex's push starting to look good. They've found two. Minxie and Arya already dropped. Slowing things down a little bit just to recuperate here as they start their push on together. Goya shield there. Didn't stop him for long. Now they can push on through. Here's Chaotic. She able to find anything? Doesn't matter. Lola's going to be able to find one. Chaotic can't do much there, but the trade kill is going to come through from Lola. So she's going to find a second kill. He's going to get dropped eventually, but it's a 3 versus 1, sorry. Leaving YummySteakz last alive. Fuser is down, and they know exactly where she is.
Oh boy, and 1v3, yeah, Vector is a very powerful weapon, but right now, YummySteakz needs to become the embodiment of the aim goddess as well. Yeah. Will be shut down there by Nuggin. So, a solid effort overall by Trinity, as they did manage to find the 2 frags, but unfortunately for them, Vertex were just too big of an onslaught there.
Vertex really starting to prove what they're made of here on the offensive side of Clubhouse, something that we didn't really get to see too much last time these two faced, but they're making almost light work of Trinity here, which is honestly shocking to say and to witness. But you know, one thing that we sort of harped on about, myself and Sukai, last week was you got to be on your game in these finals. You got to be switched on, and right now Trinity, they're just not switched on.
Yeah, Trinity seeming to be having a bit of a trouble there with their just overall momentum. Albeit they have some good ideas as to how to hold, how to play this out, and how to have some good angles. It's just, it seems that Vertex just, yeah, they spend probably almost way too much time in some of these custom games just prepping for this very day. And it shows. Maybe for Trinity it's just not their day. We all have those. It happens to the best of us. So I'm very much assuming that this can be the reason here as well.
Look, I'd hope not. I'd hope that it is their day and they are able to pick it up. But yeah, right now it's just not looking like it. But let's see if they can get over this hurdle
Attackers are
that
moving to defuse a bomb.
set right in front of it, right in front of themselves.
And right now it's a little bit of a almost slightly demoralizing position right now for Trinity after having previously a 6-0 position after the first half of Kafe. Now it's seeming that Vertex are planning to pull off a similar scoreline there for the first half, albeit for the first half of map number 2, albeit that it's still only 2 rounds. It's a little bit too early for me to call that, but it certainly looked like it was very confident in favor of Vertex on those past 2 rounds.
Just waiting for someone to push through that window is Arya. You know, I mean, she's been pretty cold, but she's been thrown out here, so they're going to know where she is. And those are some shots coming from behind. She does get tagged up a little bit, but she gets pinched in, and not much more she can do there. Lola finding the kill in the end. And you know, when your star fragger from last week is struggling this much to really get it going, the rest of the team, they don't really have anything to build off. You know, the confidence just isn't there right now. But
Attackers have located a bomb.
they need someone to step up, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Right now, Vertex are starting to slowly get closer and closer to the site, as Minxie is this time going to be the one to be contesting the blue tunnel with the shotgun and SMG-11. She could very much do that, but right now with the hatch actually exploding right above, things might be looking a little bit dicey as the mute is being spotted. So right now, there could be a pinch happening here by Vertex once again.
Yeah, it seems like it could just be the case as the flashbang is going to go down through the hole in the floor. I like that here. Trying to get the camera down. There we go. Lola's going to find it in the end, and this might just be what they needed. Oh, she spotted the gun there, but too late to react. Somehow the mute's still alive. Somehow Minxie hasn't been sent to her grave yet. She is a little concussed here, but I know exactly where she is. They are going to do their best to find him, but the peak comes out. Tags her up a little bit. Chaotic. She has to back up here, but she will get the kill there. So, Trinity down to just 3 players. Vertex, they're going to start that push you were talking about. The pinch coming on through now. Pre-fire there, not good. Crips is going to survive for a second longer, but can't find the second Lola. To follow that one up, and here we go. Vertex, the push onto site just completely suffocates Trinity.
Seconds remaining.
Yeah, Kortari finding another kill, and it is a 1v4 as Pi is the last person standing. We'll be trying to find some pre-fires, but to no avail. Vertex yet again closing out 3 rounds in a row on their offense, seeming to be just completely untouchable here.
Look, it's really starting to get a bit dire for Trinity. They've won, what, 2 out of however many rounds we've had already. It's not been pretty.
I mean, for Vertex, if you include the previous map, they so far have a 4-round streak going on attack for themselves. Yeah. Because they won the final round whilst being on the defense. I'm sorry for bumping the microphone. And yeah, so far Gym and Double Church push has been so far very much successful for Vertex. Whereas on the side of Trinity, I feel probably the main thing that they would want to look at into changing is if you want to have some roam, have a 2-person roam, because whilst 1-person roam is, yeah, it's one of those kind of low risk, low reward kind of plays. Yeah. If you're talking just specifically operator account wise, you would want to have a 2-person play at the very least to just cover those 2 angles first of all. If a pinch is coming, that's 1, and 2. If say one of the roamers gets fragged out, you can already try to go in for a refrag and at the very least solidify a smaller trade. So
attackers must locate and defuse the bomb.
I definitely think that there needs to be some amends to the Trinity's roam game. But apart from that, I mean, they have some really good angles. It's just the gunfight's not seeming to be connecting in any shape or form.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a few nice-ish looking shots, but you've got 4 players with 1 kill each and 1 player with 0 kills. It's just not really heading up for the girls. And in the meantime, you've got Chaotic just going absolutely crazy with 6 kills already, and Lola as well, and we're only into round 4. Right now, Vertex, they're just showing dominance across the board. They've won 10 out of 12 rounds that we've played so far, and that might just go to show Clubhouse really is their map. Trinity, you messed up a little bit last week, buddies.
Yeah, well, right now it seems that Vertex are just going to be making sure that they know each and every bit of the position of the defenders, as the position of Pi has been fully revealed, and Lola will be able to capitalize on that. But Chaotic actually got down from a gunfight against Arya, I believe, and yes, so the Zofia of Chaotic will be actually completely down, but will be picked up here. So both now Lola and Chaotic are very much low on health, and in their next fight they just might be going down.
Yeah, that does give Trinity a little bit of that lifeline that they've probably desperately been searching for so far throughout both maps, really.
Bomb located by attackers.
A couple of feathers, and that could be all she wrote for these two.
How did that not connect? Again, such close pre-fires from Arya as well. But to no avail. Yeah, well, Kiarax will still be able to showcase that even with a low amount of health, she can still frag the heck
The
out.
attacker's bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Yeah, I mean,
Attackers
that's
have
one of
recovered their
the
diffuser.
crazy things about Rainbow Six, which does take a bit of getting used to. You know, you can have 1, 2, 3 HP. You just have to hit the head, and that's game over for the opposition. So that's what Chaotic did and will continue to do. She's gonna find yet another one. She's gonna run upstairs. Actually, that was Butter this time. YummySteakz will get a trade, but possibly a little too late. Well, this is 3 now. Will that find one? Does indeed. Actually, she's made this doable. YummySteakz caught in a 1v5 situation, but Kortari with the angle is going to close out round number 4 here for Vertex.
That was still very much clutchable there for YummySteakz. It's not for the fact that Kortari was already holding such a tight angle onto the stairs. I definitely think that it would have been clutchable, especially if that C4 came in a little bit earlier.
I think, yeah, half a second earlier, she gets 2 kills with that thing.
Oh, yeah. And that would also be the plan denial as well. So that could be huge if she would have been able to emphasize of that. But alas, unfortunately, that was not meant to be happening just yet. So round 5 so far, and usually we would say that, hey, Vertex are defending, they're the one leading, but they're on attack right now and just flexing to their absolute maximum here against Trinity.
Yeah, this is getting a bit scary now for Trinity.
Defenders, protect your bombs from
I mean, momentum,
attackers.
it's just not there. Vertex, they've had a grip on this series from the second we started up the stream, and it's just showing. I don't know if it's research that they've done or just their own strategies they've come up with, but it's just stopping Trinity in their tracks, you know, to leave someone in a 1 versus 5. Not how you want the round to go, especially after getting such great damage onto Lola and Chaotic, the 2 players on Vertex who are absolutely dominating right now. I mean,
10 seconds
just a second more, a little bit more damage, and you've got 2 of the top fraggers, or the 2 top fraggers off the board. That makes it a much easier round to win. Arya getting unlucky with some of those shots through the wall, but nevertheless, you got to take each round as it comes and reset, regain a little bit, as we like to say
Attackers have recovered their
in
diffuser.
esports, and try and get back into this one. Try and get your head back in the game.
Yeah, getting your head back into the game is definitely going to be the main key here for Trinity's potential success soon, and they need to do it on the double. They need to start winning those rounds right now, because a 4-2 scoreline, albeit not in your favor, it's still going to be very much workable for Trinity to play off. But it stands really right now, this is going to be the main play. Nugget actually will have her thermite charge denied very nicely down here by YummySteakz, as she certainly does manage to find some good timing there.
I'd be, yeah, look, 4-2 is better than nothing. Problem is, last time Trinity were playing attack on Clubhouse, they weren't able to get a single round, so it does still scare me a little bit.
There it is.
Stopping that thermite charge though. Bandit trick actually coming out very effectively here from YummySteakz.
So this is actually huge here. So Chaotic already used up all of her concussion grenades. All of the EMPs have been drained, and all of the thermite charges have been drained. So now Vertex are very much forced to go into just sheer gunfights, and this is where they might be caught off, albeit that Arya just caught some chunky amount of damage as she's being cornered, but Pi's only help will be actually able to solidify a frag onto Butter, but apart from that, really, it's a trade.
Yeah, the trade does come out. Arya just not able to stay alive and run away long enough. Oh, the shots there from Kortari again with the vertical play. She's even got a murder hole above her that could prove lethal. In fact, it's going to be proved lethal to her. She's taking some shots now. To recharge the Ash charge, but there you go, that's going to go out. Keep in mind, she does still have 2 flashbangs along with Nugget. 2 flashbangs to work with. She's going to use one of them on YummySteakz. In the meantime, Pi is going to get dropped in garage, so That's Kortari with a big kill there. Minxie's still alive here to cause some damage. She'll find the first one. Can she find the second? She does. That's huge there from Minxie to keep them alive. One more player towards the garage. He's going to find a shot in. But Minxie knows better than to stand around. YummySteakz going to finally find that kill on Chaotic. It's just Nugget alive, and Trinity, they're just about to find their first round in this one. Albeit, if Nugget's not able to make a miraculous 1 versus 3, she does down a player, but that is going to be it. Trinity, they're going to find their first here with some life-saving plays from Minxie.
Minxie did a fantastic effort there to take out the 2 attackers that were trying to rush in through the garage, but yeah, this is the first round for Trinity on this map to net themselves, and they need to find on that round 6 yet another win, and they are going to be taking themselves over onto Gym, which is usually one of those tertiary sites, like I mentioned before, but it's slowly starting to become one of those kind of secondary or primary sites to maybe either throw off some of the momentum of the attackers if they're flexing maybe some of the more of the dynamic operator choices, or just to set their own kind of pace if it's all very much of a static choice of the operator lineup for any of the site.
The Mute has been 6-picked out for a Vigil, so maybe trying to step up that roam game a little bit. Could change the pace a tad, because, yeah, that's one thing that we haven't seen too much from Trinity. They definitely need this round if they want to hope in hell of having a good second half and start to build a little bit of momentum, which I said just before the last round wasn't in their favor. Reset, regain, get your head get out of your own head and back into it, and they were able to do that in a really nice round there. So can they step it up and start a run of their own to rival that of Vertex's and push us to a map 3 on Villa? Because without that, this is going to be a Vertex grand final victory and a nice chunk of change in the bank account. So let's see how Trinity will go about this last round of the half.
I mean, bringing in a Vigil for this very round from Krebs is actually not a bad idea at all, considering that she was droned out on a fair few occasions, and whenever the Roma would die, it was because of the just a sheer amount of drones that were coming out. But instead, Kortari just doesn't care. She just goes in for the entry frag, does find the shot onto Arya, but Crips will be finally able to find the trait. So it's already the Vigil pick is somewhat paying off, albeit that probably didn't want to lose that Jaeger that early into the round.
No, but I mean, Arya, she's just not on a game right now, so hopefully she's able to pick it up right like the rest of her teammates have. Because, you see YummySteakz now with 5 kills. Minxie, after a massive 3k round last round, is 3 and 4 so far this map. And we'll see how the rest of the round goes. 4 versus 4. Lola doing a great job of identifying the threats.
And the remainder of the Vertex roster so far seeming to be a little bit stalled out, albeit just as I say that, Nugget is the one that will be finding her second kill onto Minxie, and that is a very good and calculated push as right now. The push onto the bathroom will be coming out, but a very excellent bandit trick will be there as well to deny, and so now it is a bit of a questionable play that Vertex are prompting to go for, as they technically taken control of B side, and it is Butter that is the one that has the diffuser on her, so potentially if she goes in for the blind, she can play it out, but I don't think there is anyone at the ground floor here. There's nobody, so no C4 to be coming out yet, at least.
Not just as of yet. Crips is going to go down though. Chaotic finding that kill. 2 versus 4 now. Nugget is very weak, but there you have it. Chaotic and Lola find those last 2 kills, and Vertex going into the second half with a 5-1 lead here.
I mean, that was absolutely clinical, the way how Vertex took control of the logistics office, took control of that hallway, and just full-on cut out any possibilities of a rotation. And it almost felt like a little bit of a misplay there, or mis-set up from Trinity, because usually you would also have at least on the foot level, the whole wall opened up, and so that way you would be able to essentially pre-fire onto the feet once the attacker decides to go in for the push. But that was pretty much of a free entry for the thermite of, I believe that was Butter. So, yeah, I mean, well done for Vertex to capitalize on that, and an unfortunate loss there for Trinity.
Yeah, unfortunately, Trinity just not having the night that they would have wanted.
Attackers
It's all
need to locate and
Vertex.
defuse bombs.
It's raining purple here in Clubhouse, and now we head over to their defense, which they didn't lose a single round of last time these two teams met on this map. And not just that,
Bomb located by
we've got a very similar sort of team composition to what we saw on Kafe. So
Kortari is back on the alibi. That is already, that is a scary sight already to me.
yeah, not keen. But Trinity, they do have the Jackal to work with this time, so let's see if they're able to cut out that roam, because they're going to be expecting a very heavy roam out of this Vertex lineup.
Here's also an interesting thought that just caught my mind. The way how Vertex been playing so far, a very kind of wide swings all over the map, how they were on Kafe, forced YummySteakz, pardon, not YummySteakz, I believe that was actually Minxie's drone, to be left out in Strip Club. So they were expecting the run out even to come out there from Vertex, which obviously won't be coming out at least just yet. But it shows how much of that doubt is being put right now into Trinity's roster, and that is a big play there by Vertex, as to go for some of the just more of a mental play.
And you can see there with the X-ray, Butter's just waiting to have to bandit trick that one.
And there it is. The attempt at it's the mind games between Butter right now, YummySteakz and Pi, as the coordination from the attackers will need to be pretty much as precise as it gets. But are they going to be trying to go in for the players? The concussion actually will be coming out, and oh no, Butter actually will be forced to fall back and actually will be able to run away scot-free without taking any damage. Okay.
And she's lucky, but so are Trinity to not have wasted one of their thermite charges. Hi, she's going to go for that run out by the looks of things and get taken down by the Claymore. So a good start here for Trinity to find that first pick. Can they keep it going? They are going to. Minxie, she's going to find one onto Nugget here, and she needs to find more. She's playing the Lurk Hunter right now.
Yeah, let's get another
one. This is huge from them.
It's most definitely huge. In a 4v2 situation right now, Kortari's position has been revealed pretty much all well and clear by the drone, and she can cop a pretty quick bullet to the head in a short bit. But Lola is the one. I don't know. And with Arya finding the shot onto Kortari right now, it's all up to Lola, as she's getting pressured, I believe, from the construction side as well, as the rotation needs to happen straight away. But oh, with her back turned, Trinity will be finding their second round here. Nicely done.
That was a very comprehensive win there. Nice to see Trinity, very coordinated push, and getting a little bit lucky with the bandit trick situation there, but it worked out in the end by finding a couple of kills as well. Really nice to see the girls stepping up and getting around each other. And you know, now that they are on the offense, they really do have to go for those aggressive peaks. You can't really be sitting back as much as they were on the defensive side of things. So that might work in their favor, that they sort of have to force themselves into those confident wide swing peaks and stuff. And if someone starts popping off a little bit, like Pi is a little, like Minxie is a little, like YummySteakz is even, that could really start to set them off. But we need to see them get at least a couple more rounds feeling like that, feeling confident, feeling strong, feeling dominant, to really build up that pace. So let's see if they can step it up.
Yeah, that confidence is going to be everything right now for Trinity, as they are only 3 rounds away from evening the round count out here. And I mean, if they can do the similar play like they did in the previous round, and being able to find those very nice clear shots onto the defenders, they just might be able to push it. And I mean, I won't be surprised if that will be the case. And well, Pi, yeah, like we mentioned before, did some really good job at good timing. Same goes for YummySteakz, and big props to Arya as well with that Zofia, because without the concussion grenade, Lola would have been able to bandit trick it very easily.
Yeah, it would have been a pretty easy bandit trick if it weren't for that. Now let's see if Lola's a bit more successful this time around. Chaotic, just saw her running up the stairs, is going to be top of garage.
Yeah, Chaotic right now will be probably the first person to respond onto that aggression, but instead actually goes in for the peak. Fantastic headshot onto Arya to kick things off, as right now this is her 11th kill already. Oh my. Good trade by Minxie though onto Kortari, so that is the main aggressor, the main roamer off the board, and that is a solid performance so far, as Crips is going to be the one to be entering into CCTV with a drone accompanying her.
Yeah, utilizing that to be able to clear out upstairs here. And try and make a play to go down.
Yeah, it actually just struck me the fact that the site is downstairs, but the main initial point of contention was in garage, and it was at the top floor, so this is still gonna drain quite some time from the offense of Trinity before they're gonna actually get to the juice of the engagement.
Well, Chaotic's gonna get spotted out here by Minxie on the Jackal, so she's gonna have to be careful. Getting live pinged.
Ooh, Butter might be onto something here, as she's just waiting for the right moment to go for it. As there's the first play. YummySteakz will
she's done
be
it
to time
again.
her. Yeah.
This is the second time.
Yeah, some good timing there with the EMP grenades.
Finally, they're going to get that hatch open, but not before using all of Crip's utility. I think she might have one charge yet.
Bomb
to use.
located by attackers.
Pi also having her thermite charges available if necessary, but they need to start working on some kind of push now. 48 seconds remaining. That's all that's left.
And only now they're making that push. The drop down needs to happen here by Crips if she wants to allow her team to go in for the push, considering that she has only a single X-Karo set. And well, whilst they're fumbling around, it is Butter that will be finding the shot onto, I believe that was YummySteakz. So this is already not looking all so well, but Minxie does manage to equalize the player count into a draw, but with already the TCSG just popping off by Butter, things are starting to not look all well. All up to Pi and Minxie so far, the most performing two players, as Chaotic does found a double kill for herself, and Pi will be going down to the hands of Butter, and Vertex will be finding yet another round for themselves, as I do believe we just went into the match point.
Yeah, match point now. Series point, grand final point. It comes down to this, Trinity. I know you've been struggling this series, but you need to start to lift your game now. You've seen a little bit of life so far, but not yet enough. We could be about to crown our champions. Needless to say, as soon as the match is over, that's not the end of the broadcast. We will still be going to an interview with the lovely Tegan and some of the players we've been watching tonight. We'll be seeing a couple of interviews there. So if you have any questions, make sure to put them in chat or tweet us at XP Oz on Twitter. Let us know any questions that you want to find the answers out to.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Definitely need to listen to that interview as well, just to get some of the insights from both of the teams as to what's been going through the minds throughout the whole of the matchup, especially sort of actually for both sides. For Vertex, as to how was the prep made and how was the prep done, and what happened in the camp of Trinity there throughout the first map so far.
I mean, I can imagine there'll be a very stark difference in the two team comms right now. Vertex, I can imagine someone's there just in the back of the mind. They don't want to say it so they don't jinx it, but someone's like, "No, we're about to win
5 seconds left.
the lion's share of $3,000. That's in the back of their minds right now. And, you know, that can either make or break you. If you don't know how to handle that kind of pressure, which, you know, I'm not sure. I feel like these girls can, because you just got to keep playing as it's another game. It's just another scrim. Don't take it too hard on yourself, because that's when you get into a negative headspace. You start overthinking things, and that can spiral out of control. But meanwhile, in Trinity's camp, it's probably going to be a little bit more negative, a little bit quieter. So let's see how this potential final round goes.
Curious as to the fact that Trinity didn't even prompt to go in for the push into the CCTV room, as that could possibly give the avenue to Kortari to even go for a run out, but she's actually on the ground floor, and she could be a big issue to deal with further into the round, as right now Vertex are playing very passively, really. There's no runouts, there's no big plays that are coming out, as the flashbang is also coming out, as right now Lola will be trying to find just a couple of the denials, as the thermite charge already has been denied, and well, right now I believe Minxie is the one who's applying suppression. No, it's Arya actually.
Unsurprisingly, but she will get a drone out. First kill's gonna go down, Nuggin. That's a massive long-range kill on the Legion towards YummySteakz.
Ouch. That's gotta hurt, getting taken out in this kind of fashion, but meanwhile it is Arya and Crips duo trying to breach into the cash room, and right now it is only up to Butter really to get any response there, as she does have the castle barricade. The cash room is fully reinforced off, so right now it is going to be quite a choke point for the Trinity players to go through.
Yeah, they need to make something work right now. Butter's going to find the kill onto the drone, but can she find the kill onto the player? She will indeed. Goes down in the process and will get traded out by Arya. That's huge. Arya needs to find yet another kill now. It is coming down to the wire. 4 versus 3. This is your last chance, Trinity. You got to make this work. You got to find the kills, but Nuggin, she's going to say no thanks. Shuts Mixie down, and that's one of the star players for Trinity. Out of action, Pi and Arya. All that stands between Vertex and the grand final winners.
Ooh, Arya does manage to land the shot, as well as does manage to find a triple kill, but with the Claymore down, she is gonna go down. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Vertex are the winners of the grand finals and the champions of the inaugural XP Esports Women's League.
That's all she wrote. Vertex are going to be going down in the history books as the first winners ever of the Rainbow Six Siege Women's League. Congratulations, of course, commiserations to Trinity. GGWP. What a series and what a dominant performance from this Vertex lineup. I didn't necessarily expect it to go the way that it's just gone, but there we have it. Vertex are going to be going home with a lion's share of the $3,000 and, of course, the bragging rights as the first ever Rainbow Six Siege Women's League winners.
Oh, yes. And I mean, what a dominant play by Vertex. It's been absolutely just a pleasure seeing some of those rounds being executed, and it was just absolutely down to wire on some of the other ones. So it's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster of emotions, not gonna lie, as Trinity did have a few good beginnings for the comeback, but unfortunately for them, they're only going to be finishing on the second place.
Well, there we have it. Maybe not as close as we would have wanted, but nonetheless, a very exciting, dominant show there from Vertex. And I mean, I didn't necessarily expect it to go that way. Trinity being so crazy dominant throughout the entire season, to not be able to pull out much today has been a little bit disheartening, but hopefully those girls stick together and stick at it, because I'm sure they'll be able to prove us wrong next season if we are able to get there. But I mean, massive props to the Vertex girls coming away with that W. That is going to be something to brag about for a while.
Oh yeah, I mean, Vertex, yeah, like I said, it seems that they've done quite a hefty amount of homework. Massive congratulations once again to them, and it definitely paid off tonight, as they were just able to showcase us all of the big brain strats that they had in the strat book there.
I mean, that was something that we'd been waiting to see throughout the entire season, and it just goes to show you put the time and effort in, you can definitely come out with something that your opposition's not going to be expecting. It's not like the game is never changing. It's always in flux, always in motion, especially a game like Siege. You know, what angles become popular and meta, what operators become popular and meta does change so consistently. Weekly, it feels like we're getting operator buffs and nerfs. So, you know, you never know what to expect, but that does it. 2-0, Vertex taking the grand final, and that is going to be about it for the first season ever of the Rainbow Six Women's League. Anything else to add here, Cthulhu?
I mean, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to get to witness it all unfold. We've seen so many really close matchups between multiple teams here, and for those who made it into 4th and 3rd place to Viking Army and Nude, also massive congratulations to them to making it this far. So all around, like, honestly, massive props to all the teams that joined in, showed some effort there, and just played their hearts out.
I mean, look, you're forgetting little old Enix. Congrats to you girls as well for giving it a shot and trying it out, and I hope you guys also stick with it because it'd be great to have you and more on board. Of course, guys, make sure to follow the Twitter at XPEsportsOz to keep up to date with any news regarding any potential further seasons or other esports titles that you might be interested in, other competitions that we have running. You know, if you want to get involved, definitely do so. And, you know, this league just goes to show that no matter who you are, what you do, there's something out there for you in esports. It is a very welcoming community, and we welcome you to try it out, whether it be commentating, whether it be playing competitively, doesn't matter, adminning, broadcasting, producing. Reach out. There's someone there that can help you get into it because it is an amazing industry to be a part of, and I couldn't have been prouder of what we have accomplished this season. So on behalf of Cthulhu, myself, and the whole XP Esports team, thank you so much for supporting us this season. It has been an absolutely awesome experience for all of us, and we can't wait to see what we can bring you guys in the future. But for now, that is us signing off for the last time. Good night.
Introducing Kapkan. Kapkan is a trap operator and a deadly addition to a defending team. Playing Kapkan well requires map knowledge, cunning, and learning the behavior of various attackers, particularly frontliners. Kapkan's unique ability is his entry denial device, or EDD MK2. This trap is a packed C4 charge, activated when motion is detected. Kapkan's traps can be placed on door and window frames, denying key entry points for attackers. His charges are very effective against fast-paced frontliners. Place the EDD low down and out of eye line to use their entry speed and lack of caution against them. Remember, your traps do have a visible box, so try to place them in unassuming locations. Don't place your traps in obvious locations, particularly around objectives where attackers are more attentive. Do punch barricades twice to trick attackers into jumping straight through windows or doors, or place in a hidden spot where there is no barricade.
On a mission to succeed, Viking Army put the members of Newt on the back foot early this week to secure the first map of Consulate. An amazing start to what was an epic third-place playoff.
Oh, wow, she's done it.
No. Now spots.
Jordan. Chloe dropping, I think, 16 kills in one of their games.
Ooh. That's a big kill from Connie to take down Chrissy. Connie now with the coverage.
Ooh,
the C4 comes out to take down Mons.
5 seconds left.
Newt had to retaliate. Dedication to the game saw the squad fight hours into the night, reverse sweeping Viking Army to earn themselves third place in the first ever season of the XP Esports Rainbow Six Women's League.
And she is the diffuser carrier.
Gonna move back up, see if they can deal with her, but that actually is the diffuser on the ground. Connie is now in a position, the C4 comes out.
Soy finding the headshot on Jordan.
Rachel gonna spot the head of Soy, does get the kill as well.
She needs all the help she can get. Only 8 seconds remaining now. She will go in, find that kill into Lightning. Now it's just 2 remaining. They're going to try and go on through and get this bomb down, but Rachel's going to find one Chloe in the last second. That might just be about all she wrote. If they're not too careful though, Mons is going to come through, find one. She gets a second one. Rachel's going to trade that one out onto Lightning. It's just Mons left up against 3. Can she find those last 3 kills? It's not going to happen, and there we have it. Newt. They're going to end the season going 3rd place, winning this best of 3 and taking out Viking Army.
Hats off to Viking Army for pushing us to all 12 rounds on 3 maps. This is the most stressed I've ever been, like literally.
Yeah, we're all exhausted now. We tried our best towards the end. We kept trying to hype each other up. Was the main thing, keep the vibes up, everything. We tried to come back. Yeah. What can you do?
We would like to thank our sponsors, Legion Energy and Computer Alliance, as well as our partner Ubisoft, for supporting women in gaming.
Hey everyone, my name is Tegan and welcome to Play Interviews. Thank you so much for sticking around to watch our final week and grand final of the XP Esports Women's League. Today I have YummySteakz from Trinity.
Hi.
How are you feeling right now?
I'm still shaking so much. I don't know. We're a bit obviously I think we're a bit disappointed we couldn't get the win, but they showed up and they really showed up, and you can tell that they've had a lot of practice, and you know, we're disappointed, but what can you do? We've had an amazing tournament, so.
Absolutely, you guys come first in the round robin, so really throughout the whole 5 weeks round robin, I think you dropped 1 map, which is pretty incredible.
Against them, yeah.
Yeah, it was. What was your lead up like coming into this final week?
I think it was so disjointed. I think we didn't get as much practice in as we wanted to. Mixie has so much going on with Mako and captaining them, and Aria plays in her own team, and Pi plays in an Overwatch team. So we never really get a lot of time to actually sit down and work on everything together as a team. So I think to do what we've done has been awesome, considering we haven't been able to put the practice in that we really wanted to.
Yeah. And so in saying that, what's next for you guys? Are you guys going to continue playing Siege?
I'm not really sure. I think, you know, it's hard for Ash and Minxie because she's got Mako and all of that, and Aria's got her own team. But I think everyone's really keen to keep playing together, and you know, we've got new people that we all know, and I think all of the girls in the whole comp will say that we can all hit each other up at any time and play some Siege. But yeah, it's obviously something that we've got to discuss as a team, and if we want to actually decide to go further and put some more time into it. But yeah, it's been such a fun tournament that we're just so happy with how we went anyway.
Yeah, it's been really cool to see you guys come together, because I believe, like, how long have you guys been playing together?
I'm not too sure about the other girls. I was a late pickup. I started like a week before the thing started.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I think Aria and Minxie have some connections, but I think Pi asked them how they knew each other, and Pi said she'd come straight off the curb, and Aria and Crip said she was in the trash can next to the curb. So
Yeah, it was all. I mean, I think most of the teams had like late pull-ins and stuff like that, but
Yeah.
you guys did amazing over the whole, 5 weeks round robin, and obviously, unfortunately, didn't come away with a win tonight, but you still pick up $1,000 for the team, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. It's really awesome.
We
Yeah.
had a question in chat. What are you guys going to do with the prize money?
Oh, good question. I think, funnily enough, Minxie plays on a really crappy PC, like it's about to die, and I think some of us were maybe going to pull a little bit together and help her upgrade a little bit, but other than that, I'm not really too sure.
That's amazing. That is so cool. Another question. Your most valuable player from your team of the season?
That's a hard one. I think Aria's definitely up there. She really fragged out and pulled back a lot of rounds for us and really just shone. But I think in terms of as a team, I think Minxie's just gone above and beyond for us. She not only just performed during the games, but she put so much effort into strats and would stay up till like 6 o'clock in the morning putting strats together for us and really like working her butt off for it. So yeah, I don't know. It's definitely between those two anyway.
Yeah, that's really cool. 6 a.m. though.
Yeah, I know.
That's some dedication. Final question for you before I let you go back to the team and sort of discuss, because I know the girls are probably still sitting over there in Discord, is if you have any advice or anything to say to somebody that may be considering playing Season 2, what would it be?
I think, it's definitely a startup league. So if you're new to the game, get your practice in, have a go and get in, and like just be aware that you might get beat a couple of times, but it's all about improving and getting better. And I mean, the bigger we make it, then you can have like lower divisions and higher divisions and really push it to become better, and really just get so many girls into the game and just get some exposure for a lot of people and just to the comp scene as well.
Yeah, that's really cool. And like you said, there's some girls that haven't really played Siege before and they've come in, at the sort of beginner level, and the improvement that some of the teams have made has been incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the bigger we make it, obviously, the better we can do it for each team and sort of separate them. So it's kind of a more level playing field. But at the end of the day, you watch Viking Army come. I think you guys absolutely thrashed them week 1. I think it was you guys, or
I think 14.
Yeah, and then like coming back and having a really tough match on Sunday against Newt, like
brought them back. I think it was overtime in every map. Like, that's so good.
The final map, but it got all the way to the end. The first 2 maps, and it was just super, super cool. So thank you so much for coming on to have a chat, and thank you for playing our first season. We've loved having you guys, and we definitely hope to see Trinity back in Season 2.
Yeah, we've definitely had fun being a part of it, and I think you'll definitely see us next season.
That's what we want to hear. All right, we're going to swap over now to have an interview with Kortari from Vertex, so don't go away.
Introducing Rook. Rook is an anchor and buff operator capable of providing a boost to the defenders, giving them a valuable advantage in a firefight. To play well, Rook requires patience, as he may be one of the last defenders to meet the attackers in combat. A good anchor should be able to find good defensive positions and lines of sight to resist the attacker's assaults on the objective. Rook is capable of protecting himself and his teammates through his unique ability, the R1N Rhino Armor. The Rhino Armor is a powerful defensive buff. These armor plates provide additional protection to each operator who equips one, reducing damage taken from frag blasts and gunfire. These plates ensure that you and your teammates are always down but not out if hit by stray bullets or explosions, but will be useless against headshots. Deploy the armor pack immediately at the very beginning of the round. Don't deploy the bag in front of doors or windows where your teammates could be hit while equipping the armor.
get into the room.
On a mission to succeed, Viking Army put the members of Newt on the back foot early this week to secure the first map of Consulate. An amazing start to what was an epic third-place playoff.
Oh, wow, she's done it.
No. Just spots.
Jordan. Chloe dropping, I think, 16 kills in one of their games.
Ooh. That's a big kill from Connie to take down Chrissy. Connie now with the coverage.
Ooh,
the C4 comes out. Take down Mons.
5 seconds left.
Newt had to retaliate. Dedication to the game saw the squad fight hours into the night, reverse sweeping Viking Army to earn themselves third place in the first ever season of the XP Esports Rainbow Six Women's League.
Towards the site, and she is the diffuser carrier.
Gonna move back up, see if they can deal with her, but that actually is the diffuser on the ground. Connie is now in a position. The C4 comes out.
Soy finding the headshot on Jordan.
Rachel gonna spot the head of Soy, does get the kill as well.
She needs all the help she can get. Only 8 seconds remaining now. She will go in, find that kill into Lightning. Now it's just 2 remaining. They're going to try and go on through and get this bomb down, but Rachel's going to find one Chloe in the last second. That might just be about all she wrote if they're not too careful though. Mons is going to come through, find one. She gets the second one. Rachel's going to trade that one out onto Lightning. It's just Mons left up against 3. Can she find those last 3 kills? It's not going to happen, and there we have it. Newt. They're going to end the season going 3rd place, winning this best of 3 and taking out Viking Army.
Hats off to Viking Army for pushing us to all 12 rounds on 3 maps. This is the most stressed I've ever been, like literally.
Yeah, we're all exhausted now. We tried our best towards the end. We kept trying to hype each other up. It was the main thing, keep the vibes up, everything. We tried to come back, but what can you do?
We would like to thank our sponsors, Legion Energy and Computer Alliance, as well as our partner Ubisoft, for supporting women in gaming.
Hey guys, we're back with another interview with Kortari, or maybe Mozzie from Vertex. I don't know that one yet, but wow, what a game! You guys absolutely dominated. It was very, very quick. We did not expect that. How are you guys feeling? How is the team vibing right now?
Well, everyone was pretty shaken before the game. Even after the first match, we were just like, Nuggin came out. She was like, my arm.
Yeah, and you got Nuggin in your place with you. I know.
He's at the back.
She's at the back. What you played an excellent game yourself. Like, I mean, in map 1, it was pretty sure it was double-digit kills. Like, it was up there.
I wasn't even paying attention.
It was insane. Like, it's just sitting back, just going, "What is happening?" It was absolutely incredible to see you girls just go out there and do what you did. I just have one question that's on my mind, and before we get into anything, is that actually your mum in chat?
Yeah, that's my mum.
Like, I really needed to know that. I was like,
Shout out to mum.
Shout out to mum. I didn't know if it was like just one of your friends or something. That's amazing. Shout out to Kortari's mum in chat. So tell me a little bit about Vertex and the sort of prep that you've had over the last week coming into this grand final?
Yeah, first I'm going to take this off.
Okay.
Hot. Hang on. Yeah. Man.
There we go. We have Kortari back doing the interview.
Hopefully that swapped.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so how was your prep leading into this final week?
We did a lot more prep than we did for the other games, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of us haven't really been on, outside commitments and whatnot, work, other teams and whatnot.
Yeah. And with Vertex, how, early did you guys come together? Were you, I feel you
We came together like a week before the tournament.
Yeah.
We picked up Chaotic on the last night before. What up? Got Nugget in.
How's it going? Yeah, we got Nugget in as well. She can't hear me, but she is in there.
I can't hear you. Yeah, I can do this. No, I can't. We can probably listen like this.
We're doing double interviews now, apparently. Yeah, so some of you guys got in obviously very late, just before the tournament started.
Yeah, Chaotic signed up like literally on the last night.
Yeah. I'm just watching chat now go off about your costume. It's amazing. I love it.
I'm not looking at that. I'm turning that.
You guys, you came second overall in the round robin, and then tonight absolutely dominated. Come first, you've got the 1,500 in the bank. There was a question in chat, and it was, what are you guys going to spend it on?
A new GPU, I guess.
Yeah, nice. It was just one of the questions thrown out.
Oh no, mine probably like charity.
Yeah. That's so cool. Another question from chat that has been asked, I think, for the last 6 weeks is it butter or Buddha?
It's butter.
It's butter.
It's so butter.
It's butter.
You had it right for like one game, and then it was like
back to Buddha. Yeah, no, but I think every single week it was something different, and I just know the chat was going off every single time. What's next for Vertex? Where do you see you girls going? Are you going to stick together? Coming back for season 2? Any ideas yet?
Don't know. I know a lot of us wanted to stay. A lot of us obviously get the nerves really hit them for the games, and some do have other teams, so it depends what people are going to be doing.
Yeah. I mean, it's life in general, hey, like everything, especially with the COVID-19 and stuff coming in mid-season. It's really thrown a spanner in the works, but...
Distance yourself.
Yeah.
You going out? All right, cool.
See you, Nuggin.
Bye, Nuggin.
So if you had to pick an MVP for your team, oh my goodness, over the season, who would it be?
Look, I've seen chat, and honestly, we're all got our strengths, but Chaotic's definitely popped off a lot.
Yeah.
And she's the most nervous. She's the one that screams before we play.
Sometimes I do wish I can just pop into Discord and just listen to the girls, because I think all of you have said it's just
so
like
funny.
screaming. Yeah. I think everyone's just saying, yeah, it's just like everyone is just screaming and, having good vibes and stuff. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. If you had anything to say to someone new wanting to play for season 2, what would your words of advice be?
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
I'm kidding. If you have the time and dedication and you want to do something different, if you want to change, from a casual or a ranked, it is so much different.
Yeah.
Scrim, it's competitive. It's a lot of learning. It opens your mind up to different things. So I'd say go for it.
Yeah, and as you say, like, it is so different, and even like some of the coaches that have got on board to coach, and this is their first coaching season, even they're like, oh my God, I didn't realize it takes so much. I think, was it Yummy saying that Minxie was up till 6 a.m. doing strats and stuff for them.
Dear.
So it is, a big commitment, and some people don't realize that. So it is a good point to bring up, because I think, we see some people drop off early in the league when they realize how difficult it is and how much, you got to put into the team, and I suppose what you put in, you get back.
Mm.
Do you have any shout outs or anything?
Sure. Shout out to our coach, Mez, postman for. He tried, but he just wasn't around for us at the time that we were setting all the stuff up, strats and whatnot. Shout out to the team. Shout out to Vertex, Novak, and JDU. Shout out to my mum. And shout out to Trinity. They played an awesome game.
Yeah, I know the last time we saw you two play each other, there was pretty much like one map went one way and the other went the other.
Yeah.
And we were thinking, is that going to happen again tonight? But you guys just proved to be too strong and just absolutely came out just pushing and pushing and pushing. And it was really exciting to see. So we do hope that we see you back for season 2, because...
Oh, it's confirmed?
Well, I think so. Let's hope so anyways. It is in the works. We haven't confirmed a date or anything, but we do hope that it will be. But we hope to see a lot of the same names coming back and supporting it again, and just seeing where it goes to from here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we might head over to just me signing off, I think, now. So thank you so much for jumping in and having a chat with me, and for getting kitted up very, very quickly after your match.
So hot here.
You can jump back into chat with the team. A few of them are still in there, and enjoy. You guys absolutely dominated tonight. First overall in our first ever season, so congratulations, and pass it on to all the girls as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, it's me back again. My name is Tegan, and I've been the head of the XP Esports Women's League this season. And what a journey it has been, not only for us here at XP, but for all the girls and stuff involved. We weren't sure if we were going to get the teams that we needed. We were aiming for 4. We got 5. We've had so much fun with every single one that's been a part of it, with the coaches, the org staff, the support in chat, support from Ubisoft, support from our sponsors, everything like that has just been fantastic. We really hope that we can bring you a season 2. That is, our dream, to be able to bring this back again, and to, just keep building on it and everything like that. But from me and the rest of the XP crew, thank you so much for supporting us through the last 6 weeks, to our casters and everything like that. You guys have done an amazing job. We hope to see you back supporting all of our future events, and give us a follow on Twitter and social media just to stay up to date with all of that. And for one last time before I sign off, I just want to say thank you to our sponsors, ZQ Racing, Legion Energy, and I forgot Computer Alliance, and our partners, Ubisoft. They've all been amazing in supporting women in gaming. We're so thankful. I'm so thankful. So for me, this is our very last sign off for season 1. Thank you very much. See you next time.
my